welcome to another drive-in double feature. I'm Ryan,
I'm Nathan.
and this is the podcast where we talk about two movies a week, every Tuesday and Thursday. Before I get into that, we have a Patreon over at patreon.com/drive-in double feature podcast. You know, Nathan, I was at my local NASA facility the other day.
Oh my God, dude! If you're like a spy or something, like just say it, or you work for the government. Come on,
Yeah,
it's a
I really
little
like
weird.
I get I like the NASA display, and then there's this blind guy there just looking at the rockets and everything, and
Uh-huh.
and he was just like, "Oh, this is really incredible. I wish I could see this." And I'm like, "Yeah, that's really great." And he's like, "But you know, it's even better that you don't need eyes for the
Hmm.
Patreon over at patreon.com/Driving Feature Podcast. We've got some fun games, fun conversations, just two good friends over there that I'm sure if I could see, they would be looking like they were having a great time." And I said, "Oh, yeah, I think so too." And he said, "I just hope Nathan and Ryan can see how much we appreciate them." And I said, "I think they
You
know."
can. Oh, yeah,
And I said,
yeah,
"What?"
yeah, yeah. Oh my God, it's like see no evil, hear no evil. Oh
Yeah,
my,
yeah.
that's so funny. You guys should have teamed up or something.
hmm
Uh-huh.
But yeah, doesn't affect any regular content. It's only $5 a month. But today we are talking about 1994's Blind Justice, which is directed by Richard Spence.
The
So,
great.
like Nathan pointed out, this just so happened to be a secret theme week that we were completely unaware of when we did two HBO made for TV movies.
Yeah,
Uh,
I don't know because I mean, like we've done them before. We've done HBO movies before, but it's just interesting that everything aligned because I didn't. I'm sure you didn't know, and I didn't know that our movies were even HBO related.
I wasn't aware until after I picked it, and then when I Googled your movie, I was like, "Oh, that's also HBO movie." Okay.
Yeah, fun, fun. Too bad we didn't pick The Sopranos.
Oh yeah, we each picked an episode of The Sopranos. Like, what would
Just
you do if
somewhere
I
in the
just
middle of The
oh,
Sopranos.
no, what would you do if I just like I was like I'm picking a TV show this week, just
uh,
like a
I,
random episode of it.
I would think you
Like
were
I just
joking. I wouldn't think you were being
like
serious.
there's this the episode of Leave It to Beaver I really like that I really want to
Leave it
watch.
to
And it's just
Beaver of all. Oh my God, the Munsters or something like that. Which
yeah, like there's one episode I want to watch, just one.
I guess I wouldn't say no. We've done episodes of TV before.
That'd be so
That would, but Leave It to Beaver of all things.
yeah, yeah.
We just watched some sitcom, and it's random too. You didn't pick like your favorite episode. You're just kind
No,
of like, oh, this one. It'd probably be some garbage. That'd be fun.
but anyway, there is a blind gentleman played by Armand Assante, who has been in a lot of stuff before.
Yes.
Um, he's been in American Gangster, Judge Dredd, a lot of uh, a lot of other shows I
Oh,
remember
pop,
growing up.
pop
And
quiz, Ryan, pop quiz. He's in two
the
movies we've talked about. What are they?
oh my
You
God,
can't look it up.
give me a couple of minutes while I look this up. No, I well, what are they?
Okay, it was Striptease and Lords of Flatbush.
Oh, what a
Oh,
trio of
sorry, it's
movies.
Flatbush. Yeah, yeah, I know. Those are three interesting movies that now we've seen from him.
It's a very wide array of movies.
I mean, if anything, that shows you how long he's been doing movies for.
Yeah. Um, but yeah, this is a movie where it's a blind gunslinger who's out in the West,
Mhm.
completely blind, but he shoots like you can never believe.
He's like
Uh,
a superhero. It's like which I did do a little reading, Ryan. I researched a little bit of your movie, and it seems that he's
uh-huh.
partially based on Jonah Hex, which is Josh Brolin. Uh, if you
Yeah,
remember
but
that.
Jonah Hex wasn't blind though.
Oh, I know, but like that's kind of like the superhero-ish part of it where he's like so good with guns, but like it's to another degree because he's blind. Do they ever really explain that why he has heightened gun powers?
It's Nathan, the best way to do it is you gotta be blind like how he was. Just Nathan, just get a handful of lye, just rub it in your eyes,
Oh,
and
okay.
you'll get super hearing powers. You won't see,
Oh,
but
I want to be like
you won't you
Daredevil.
oh, you can just hear with sonar.
Yeah, exactly. That's I want. No, I just want to look like Ben Affleck.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You just wear like your red leather outfit.
Oh yeah, hell yeah. No, but Armand Assante doesn't do that either. He wears his Western outfit. But yeah, no, I think that's fun. I do think it's a fun idea because at first when he told me about this and I looked it up and I was like, oh, a blind gunslinger. That sounds super cheesy. And it is cheesy, but I think I actually really like Armand Assante in this. I think he plays it he plays it straight. He plays it pretty
Hmm.
straight, and that makes it more fun, I guess.
Yeah. He he's a former Civil War soldier.
Mhm.
Um, and we kind of get some like bits and pieces revealed of like his past. He had a daughter and a wife, and they end up getting murdered. And he like he gets beaten so badly during war that they think he's a dead body,
Mhm.
and they end up throwing him into a pit of dead bodies. And like how they used to do it back in the days, they used to just like throw lye on these bodies. And as soon as it gets all on his eyes, he's just like, ah, my eyes. And
Yeah, so he's permanently blind, and then in an unknown, an unseen event, he ends up taking a baby from a dying man and promises to take this baby to a town, and that's where we see him in this journey. Is we find him with this baby, blind, and trying to find the city.
now they have this baby in this movie.
Hmm.
Don't you feel like they pretty much like ignored that, like after
Oh
like at
yeah.
a certain part, like they just like dropped that whole baby angle.
Yeah, not until it didn't come back till the very end of the
Very.
movie. Yeah, they like the bait because that's fun. That's like a almost like an Akira Kurosawa samurai
Or like
movie.
the Lone Wolf and Cub movies we watched.
That's what I'm thinking of. It's like Lone Wolf and Cub, like same idea where it's like this man has to take care of a baby in a time where like men didn't really do that. So I guess that's
Hmm.
there's something interesting about that. But as soon as he finds a woman in town, he's like, "Here you go. Here's the baby. I got other things to take care of."
Yeah, and one of the women in town is Elizabeth Shue,
Yep.
and she's doing something she did a year later. She plays a prostitute.
Oh wow, that's right. She does that a year later in a much better performance.
Oh yeah, well that was like Oscar nominated performance.
Oh yeah.
You think they were watching this and they were just like, oh man, like Elizabeth Shue just plays like a great
She looks just like a
prostitute.
prostitute. She does a great job. Well, let me say, I don't think she's good in this movie. I no, not. But it's also just her character. I just don't. I think her character's kind of like she's she's there to be the nurse to heal him, and then to be a love interest. That's kind of like that's her deal.
He's immediately very unwelcome in this town. Like
Yes.
people automatically just hate him because they think that he's just trouble, and
Mhm.
they really just want him to get out of town. And there's actually these other Union soldiers that are there. One of them played by Adam Baldwin,
Yes.
uh, and they really hate him. Like they basically like leave him for dead at certain points too. And
Yeah. Well, and he comes at the worst time because this town is in turmoil as well. There's kind of a war boiling in this town. So it's just kind of like he's not welcome. Everybody's fighting and nobody likes him because there's also a Mexican gang there. And they're the ones that found him at the like towards the beginning of the movie. So
mhm.
and one of them's played by Robert Davi.
the
And
head the head bandit, yeah, Robert
yeah,
Davi.
so they have to like it. It's one of those movies where everybody's against him.
So at the beginning of the movie, Armand Assante, he ends up killing a bunch of these bandits, and
Mhm.
they bring the bandits into town on this like wagon, basically.
Mhm.
And one of the other bandits like sees the dead body and was like, oh my God, you killed my brother or
Mhm.
whatever. And just like, uh, did you notice though, like when they had like the bodies lined up, like those bodies, like they were still like moving and stuff too. Like I don't
Mhm.
like, like
I don't think they're supposed to.
they were not. I was like, 'cause I thought they were just like supposed to be like they were like unconscious because they were like when they
Um,
moved and like, oh my God, they're dead. And I was like, oh no, they were trying to act dead and doing a really bad job.
and they couldn't get a better take of that. HBO
Well, yeah, just
headquarters and like, hurry up.
like you could see like their chest rising and everything, and I'm just
Yeah, no, I hadn't noticed that, but that is really funny, actually. That sounds about right. I one thing is Robert Davi. I actually really liked him in this movie too. If there's like one thing that I could at least take out of this, Armand Assante and Robert Davi are both like they're doing a fun job. They're both having a good time with this movie.
yeah. Uh, like you said, like they both really have like a presence about them in this
Yeah, oh
movie
yeah.
where they're not like amazing performances or anything, but it's
Hmm.
just their characters are very larger than life, so you do
Yeah.
kind of get sucked into it of like what they're doing and everything, and
Yeah.
um, and you can kind of get invested too in Armando Santi's backstory too. Like he was
Yeah.
like this great soldier who ends up losing everything, and now he's kind of forced to like wander the the plains, as a blind man with a baby now to take care of.
Exactly. And like, and I'm saying he's a crazy super-powered gunslinger, but he still has his weaknesses. Which I think is good. He's not like just like some perfect guy, because the first gunfight in the movie, he is shooting people left and right. The first one in the town, but he ends up the upper hand gets and he gets hit. He almost dies right in the middle of town.
Right. Yeah, he didn't see that coming.
Nice, nice.
Hmm.
That was good. I like that because he didn't. He didn't see it coming, and it seemed like he didn't hear it coming either. Um,
Yeah, if you heard it, he could have caught the bullet.
that would have been cool because later he does catch a fly.
Hmm. With a very so since you brought that up, so there's a scene, like I said, where he is captured by those Union soldiers,
Mhm.
and they're kind of holding him captive because they think he's just another bandit. He's there to cause trouble.
Mhm.
And eventually, reluctantly, he does end up working with the Union soldiers because the bandits are stealing silver from their town and
Mhm.
everything. And uh, anyway, one of the Union soldiers is played by Jack Black in
Yeah,
this
and
movie.
yeah, I was just so like, whoa, what the hell? Yeah, Jack Black is a background character. He gets lines too, because
His name is in the opening credits. It's like one of the later ones, but his name is there.
wow, yeah, and like, yeah, and that scene is so silly too because Armand Assante's catching a fly, and Jack Black is just like, "You're blind! Oh, I
Yeah.
can't! You're blind!" And I
And
like
and
he
he's just
doesn't
like
have,
he's like do it again,
and then that's
and he's
how
like
he,
and he goes in, he like leans forward like huh, and he
yeah,
just like grabs his head and like rams his knee into his head.
yeah. Wow, what a great role! If I ever met Jack Black, I will not ask him about anything else, but I'll ask him about his time on
Yeah.
Blind
And
Justice.
give him like a copy of Blind Justice to sign. Like, can you please sign this for me?
I love Armand Assante. What was it like to work with him?
But don't even like bring up any of his other like start or
No.
what was our what did you get to meet Elizabeth Shue?
Just like, yeah, talk about his commanding officer, whatever his name is in this movie, who's like,
Yeah, Adam Baldwin.
oh well, no, because there's another guy at the camp that's like the
Oh, right.
leader, who's like a very like he's very well spoken, better spoken than
Hmm.
everybody, and he doesn't seem to want to be there. Yeah, and that's even better though. What was it like to work with Adam Baldwin? I'm sure it was
Don't even
fine.
ask. Yeah, yeah. Don't even ask about anything. Like, only talk about his like preschool of rock career.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like, oh my God, like, what was the set of Neverending Story 3 like?
Do you still text the guy from A Never-Ending Story, the main guy? Do you ever like call him up, ask him how he's doing? Just
I,
yeah.
I'm sure he
I
does.
I would love to. Well, no, 'cause you see the way he treats his friends. Does he talk to Kyle Gass anymore? Is that still a no-go?
Oh, who knows?
Yeah, whatever. This ain't the Jack Black podcast, but he is in this movie.
He is. I what okay, one part I do want to mention, and I don't know when to bring this up, so I'll just do it now.
Mhm.
Is there's like he's having like this scene where like they he's like tied to like this like he's almost basically being like crucified or
Mhm.
whatever. And don't you think like he had like the weirdest like he had a really weird scream?
I don't remember what it sounded like, but I do remember that moment. Like I
He's like,
remember
oh.
yeah, I do remember that. I do remember being kind of like, huh, like that was a little odd. I'd have to watch the clip again. There's a lot of that though. He's such an odd actor. I've never like I guess I've seen Armand Assante, not enough to really know him that well. Um,
Hmm.
but he seems like a really weird guy just from this role, just like acting choices. He's just very odd.
Yeah. Uh, One other character too we haven't mentioned is the priest character that's in this movie,
Oh yeah,
and he's I hated that character.
I
He was
did
so
too.
annoying.
Yeah. There's like this big standoff at the end of the movie, and he's like praying over like a dead body, and it's just like I just I wanted him out of it, out of the
Well,
movie.
there's this, yeah, because like one of the bandits gets killed, and they basically like overrun this church, and they're
Yeah,
basically having like a service for this dead body, and the priest like really hates Armin Asante's character a lot, and he doesn't want anything to do with them. And at one point, Armin Asante like teams up with like this crazy like Native American guy.
that's right. Yeah.
Eh, yeah, and he's just like yeah, just he just has like a really weird laugh, and he doesn't really talk all that much, and everyone thinks he's just like
Hmm.
insane.
Yeah, and I think
And
everyone hates him in town.
yeah, and anyway, like they find out that these bandits are going to be in this church,
Mm.
and they set up like this big stick of dynamite like in the coffin, like where everyone's going to be hanging out, and they eventually they get it like a line of dynamite to this plunger, and they're going to drop it, but then the priest notices and disconnects it, and I'm just like, oh, like Ed
It could have been so much
Armin
fun.
Asante. Well, and then I was worried because I'm like, okay, this is a smaller movie, like maybe they're not going to do the cool thing. But no, like Armin Asante's character just goes into the church and
Mhm.
just shoots the dynamite until
Yeah.
it explodes.
Yeah, so this
And
movie does end with a huge, giant,
I
explosive fight.
I was surprised about
Yeah.
how huge this explosion was. I mean, that thing like took out like the whole town
Yeah,
almost.
yeah. It's like there's the final shot of Robert Davi and Armin, and they're coming at each other fighting, which is a great fight scene. And the whole town behind them is gone. It's just like wooden planks everywhere. It's like it's wiped out. It's crazy. Also, there's a great line in that where he's like, I can't see you, I can't hear you, but I can smell you, and you smell like shit.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Love that. I don't know. That's just thought it was fun.
Uh, well, what I like too, like when the church explodes, like Armand Assante, he goes like flying out of the front door. Like there's like the
Yeah.
explosion is like he just blows him out
Yeah.
entirely.
And yeah,
Uh,
this is well needed because this is a western that kind of fits into like the more of a hangout-ish western than anything. There's a lot of this movies that's a lot of conversations, a lot of talking about what's going on rather than like full action, I'd say.
mhm. Yeah, it there's not a whole I kind of got the impression, at least by the ending of this movie,
Hmm.
because like I said, like he's got this baby, you, and you're kind of thinking like the movie is going to end with
Hmm.
him like getting to like this town or that he needed to go to, and the baby finally going to get some like loving parents. But you know, at the end of the movie, he ends up killing Robert Davi's character, and
Hmm.
then the town's like, oh, like thank you so much. How could we ever repay you, type of thing. And he's just like, oh, got to move on. And he just gets on his horse and takes the baby and leaves, and that's where the movie ends. And I'm
Yeah.
like, I kind of got the impression they were thinking like this movie was going to be like big or
Yeah.
like do gangbusters, and it was going to be like they can do like little movies like that, like kind of like Lone Wolf and Cub.
Yeah, yeah, I could see that. Like an HBO like TV movie series. Because those were kind of big in the 90s, like doing like TV movies that were a series and you just came back to them every once in a while. What is it
Hmm.
though? There's like a really popular one with Tom Selleck that they did for like
Oh,
forever.
Stone something, Jesse Stone or
Jesse,
something
it
like
was
that,
Jesse
or
Stone. Yeah, where it's just like every once in a while we got a Jesse Stone movie, or they could have seen it become a series. I mean, Deadwood was going to become a big Western series for HBO not too long after this. I mean, still a little bit down the road. Um, because they don't even say where the city is, which is so silly to me that a whole town doesn't know where this one town is at. Like, I get it, it's the old west, we don't got GPS, but there's no map. No one has any knowledge of any town outside of this one, but no, nobody knows. That ending moment is kind of silly because Elizabeth Shue wants him to stay and she's like crying and Armand Assante's feeling her face because he's blind during the scene. So she's having this emotional crying scene, and then you just see this his hand rubbing her face the whole time. It just doesn't work correctly.
he's like, ah, you're sad. Stop
Yeah, stop
crying.
crying. I can feel your tears. But yeah, it definitely leaves it open for more, which of course we did not get anything like that.
Yeah, because he takes the we don't get a resolution to the baby plot line. We don't,
Mhm.
just and for all we know, like as soon as he walked out of the, like, a couple of days later, he just ended up dying.
That's
Just
possible.
like he just ended up like like dying of thirst.
Hmm. He could have he died of thirst. He's blind. He could have fell. His horse and him could have fell into like I don't know a
He just gets
ditch.
he just gets like he just gets off his horse and can't remember where he left it.
Yeah, yeah, that's kind of messed up. But yeah, I think. But I like to think that it all worked out in the end.
Oh yeah, I know. That was just a joke, but
I know, I know, I know.
uh
Like Mr. Magoo.
he but yeah, like I said, I wasn't like, it just wasn't an amazing movie or anything, but it was a it was a decent little movie, I thought. It had some good performances, and the hero and the villain. Um like I said, it's only about 80 minutes long. It's not that long,
Mm.
it's like the perfect length for that type of thing. I thought the premise was interesting enough. I would have liked it, I guess, maybe if there was a little more gunplay, possibly, but I thought it was a good movie. I would give it I'd give it a like a light recommend.
Yeah, it's funny. I feel like kind of similar that to Wedlock, which is even funnier because they're both HBO movies. But I enjoyed both. I thought this one, maybe even this one, was a little more fun than Wedlock because I think it was more consistent. It was just the gunfights were good. I really liked the performances. I think they held up the movie and just a nice small TV western. It was more than I expected. So yeah, it's a light recommend for sure.
Yeah, definitely. But I think that's going to do it for this week. So, Nathan, what are we going to be talking about next week?
Well, Ryan, I think it's time. I think it's time we talk about the man, the myth, the legend.
Oh, Bing Crosby. We're
Bing,
doing a
yeah.
Bing Crosby.
Yes, we're gonna do Boys Town.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we're gonna do Boys Town and
Bells of St. Mary.
that well, that one's good. That's a good movie. No, we're not, because we don't do good movies here. But no, we are going to be
Uh,
talking about my other favorite singer, Elvis Presley. Elvis Presley from the Austin Butler movie. Did you know that was a real man? That was a real guy that he was playing.
oh, that was just Austin Butler playing himself.
No, Elvis Presley was real. But we're going to be talking about movies his manager was in.
Oh, we're gonna be
The current.
that was that was a real guy that Tom Hanks is playing.
Yeah. Well, Tom
Ah,
Hanks was his manager back in the day. Oh, he's just playing himself.
gotcha.
No. Well, we're getting off the rails. No, we're talking about Elvis Presley month because Ryan, you were talking about wanting to watch one of his best movies. So of course I had to do the opposite, and I wanted to pick one of his worst movies. So why don't we start from worst and then go to the best? So on Tuesday, we are going to be talking about Harem Scarum, which is over on YouTube if you want to watch it with us. But Ryan, tell us what we're covering on Thursday.
Oh, Nathan, we're gonna be talking about. Guess what, Nathan? We're doing the theme this week. We're doing Elvis. Did you say that already?
No, I didn't. I think go over Elvis. Maybe make a joke about the Austin Butler movie too.
Yeah, we're doing a Austin Butler week, which
Oh yeah.
It's Austin Butler in the movie King Creole, which
Oh
is gonna
wow.
be
That's crazy. He just starts doing remakes of Elvis movies.
plays does Elvis and Elvis remakes.
That would actually, you know what? I think we should do it. Or we should do it. Yeah, we should make that a thing. I'll
Yeah,
call up uh his
yeah,
manager.
we'll call him up. But
Yeah.
yeah, no, we were talking about the Elvis movie, which is regarded as Elvis's best movie, which is King Creole, and that is also free on YouTube.
Awesome. Can't wait to watch them.
Yes. But if you have any thoughts and opinions, please email us over at drivingdoublefeaturepodcast@gmail.com. Don't forget to check out our Patreon at patreon.com/drivingdoublefeaturepodcast. And once again, check out our YouTube channel, youtube.com/drivingdoublefeaturepodcast. But until next time.
Until next time.